Even though it is the 21st century, there are countries in the world where strict rules still apply. One of them is North Korea. Its president, Kim Jong-un, and his predecessors have developed a list of strict prohibitions that are dangerous to break. And if you're unhappy with the level of freedom in your country, we suggest you familiarize yourself with North Korea's today. If you are not aware, Korea is a relatively small country with an area of only 1,20540 sq.km. However, this has not prevented it from being the fourth largest country in the world in terms of troops. 1 in 25 of its inhabitants is a soldier. It is a country with plutonium warheads, supposedly 10 of them, and thousands of ballistic missiles that can hit a target at a great distance. And Korea also has the world's largest navy, submarine fleet, and special forces. North Korea is a country of the toughest and sometimes even savage prohibitions. Do you like to vacation abroad? But for citizens of North Korea, it is absolutely impossible. For them, such a thing is absolutely forbidden. The only exceptions are diplomats or members of Olympic teams. Moreover, even visiting other cities for residents of their country is possible only with a special permit. In the capital, Pyongyang, only the rich and the chosen live. The entry of ordinary citizens is strictly forbidden. In general, free movement around the country is restricted for them. In North Korea, only officials and military personnel can drive personal vehicles, and only those who have received a special permit. For everyone else, it is punishable by prison. And car prices here are so high that only a select few can afford them. What can we say if some production trucks still run on firewood? But this doesn't seem to concern the leader himself. He has nothing against Mercedes. Religion and everything that can be associated with it are also under total prohibition and control. Possession of a Bible can earn you the death penalty. This is what 80 Christians were publicly shot for in 2013. That's medieval. For the same reason, Christmas and all its trappings have come under a state ban. Everyone in North Korea is an atheist. The only religion here is the ruler. All the streets are covered with propaganda posters and portraits of Kim Jong-un and his family, and it is strictly forbidden to tear them down. Punishment includes jail time or labor camps, which are said to be even harsher than prison. North Korea's bans can overwhelm anyone who encounters the country's laws. For example, the ruler has approved 18 women's haircuts and 15 men's haircuts. It is simply impossible to deviate from the prescribed forms. How about that? It is forbidden to dye your hair, nor is it allowed to curl straight hair or straighten curly hair. In fact, women should never have hair longer than shoulder length, so you're not allowed to do anything extravagant on your head. There's no place for punks. Fashion in this harsh country has touched not only hairstyles but also clothing. Everything that can be considered an influence of the West is forbidden. Of course, blue jeans got there in the first place. This is America, and they don't like them here. You can only wear black jeans. Jeans are banned, as are shorts and miniskirts. The fashion police is strictly enforced. Although, according to what journalists from neighboring countries managed to uncover, Kim Jong-un himself keeps a whole pleasure squad, or simply put, a harem, for which he spends more than $3 million every year on erotic lingerie. If you are a resident of North Korea and your next of kin live outside the country, you will never be able to call them. This is punishable by the death penalty. The only logical explanation for this taboo is that no one should find out what is really going on in this mysterious country. For the same reason, there is no internet. That's not really true. There is internet after all, but it's internal and limited. There are only 5,000 websites. Each of them is approved and authorized by the state security authorities. They are mostly sites of government, similar organizations, and universities. Koreans even have a local internal network, Red Star. There is no access to the global network. Neither do social networks, bloggers, and YouTubers. None of the locals has to know that such freedom is even possible. Otherwise, how do you maintain order? There is no Wi-Fi in North Korea. Accordingly, there are no devices that support this function. Piercings or tattoos are banned in the country. But perhaps the strangest and most surprising is the ban on the use of certain hygiene products. North Korean women don't even realize that tampons exist. The old-fashioned way, they use absorbent cotton, bandages, or plain cloth. They simply do not know that there is a way to make their existence easier. Perhaps hygiene is also seen as an influence of the capitalist West. Condoms are also banned in the country. The reason for this is unknown. They enter the country illegally and, if sold, are only available on the black market. In this case, their cost is so high that it is unrealistic for an average worker to buy them. If you still have not managed to surprise, here is another taboo. In this country, it is forbidden to listen to the music of foreign artists. And this is not just a threat. You can go to jail for this too. People don't know about the existence of international stars. Radio and television stations are strictly censored and controlled, so only domestic local artists with a patriotic repertoire are allowed to be played. Fans of strawberries have nothing to do in North Korea. Watching porn there is considered one of the most serious crimes. It is punishable by death. Watching any movie that is released outside the country is also recognized as a serious crime. It is a known fact that in 1978, a divorced married couple of directors was kidnapped from Hong Kong and brought to make movies glorifying North Korea. The budget was unlimited and simply fabulous. That's how a copy of Godzilla came to be. After the country's former leader, Kim Jong-il's, health began to deteriorate, a smoking ban was introduced in 2017. It may have been a good idea, but the rationale for it was to keep the leader from becoming a passive smoker. After his death, the ban was not lifted, although the new president is often photographed with a cigarette in his hand. Now about how likely it is to get into this country full of secrets and mysteries. Difficult, but possible. Tourists are allowed there, but that's not what's interesting right now. Each person is assigned a guide upon arrival, a warden at the same time. After all, what else can you call someone who follows you around? At the same time, he drives only to predetermined places and routes, especially selected for this purpose. So if you dreamed of walking independently wherever you want, you can forget about it. Punishments in North Korea deserve a separate video. But in brief, for a crime that is considered to be such, which caused offense to the leader or the country, 3 generations of the guilty person's family will suffer. That is, all relatives will go to jail. This can all be applied to labor camps as well. The whole family will be held responsible for escaping from there. Cruel, isn't it? The bulk of people are ordinary laborers who work for pennies and live on the edge of poverty. This seems especially unfair when you consider that the fortune of the dictator of North Korea is estimated at $5 billion. It is said that his income, as well as that from which the army is financed, is formed on the black market. Illegal trade in weapons, drugs, and hacker thefts of cryptocurrencies and bank funds bring in fabulous sums. For this purpose, a secret Department 39 is created. They also create the famous virus programs. If you enjoyed the video, stay tuned for more amazing things to come.